He was the man who defined cool, the original James Bond, suave, fearless, and untouchable. But behind Sean Connery's charm and legendary career was a life marked by pain, regret, and a heartbreaking final chapter that few ever knew. When the camera stopped rolling, the man who once seemed larger than life faced a quiet, lonely struggle that would mark the end of an era. For decades, Sean Connery was the gold standard of movie stardom. Born in Edinburgh, Scotland in 1930, he rose from poverty to become one of the most recognizable faces in the world. The son of a factory worker and a cleaning woman, Connery's early life was far from glamorous. He left school at just 13 to help support his family, working as a milkman, a coffin polisher, and even a bodybuilder before finding his true calling in acting. It was 1962's Dr. No that changed everything. Connery's portrayal of James Bond, cool, confident, and irresistibly charismatic, redefined what it meant to be a movie hero. He wasn't just playing 007. He was 007 with his magnetic presence and effortless masculinity. Connery became an international icon overnight for millions. He was the ultimate secret agent, dangerous yet debonair, tough yet witty. But fame came with a cost. As the Bond franchise exploded, Connery found himself trapped in the very image that made him famous. The constant attention, the pressure, and the lack of privacy began to take a toll. He often clashed with producers over money and creative control, feeling undervalued despite being the face of one of cinema's biggest franchises. By the late 1960s, after You Only Live Twice, he'd had enough. "I've always hated that damned James Bond," he once said. "I'd like to kill him." Yet even after leaving Bond behind, Connery's star continued to rise. He won an Oscar for The Untouchables in 1987, proving that he was more than just a spy. He was a true actor with range and depth. Roles in Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade, The Hunt for Red October, and The Rock cemented his place as Hollywood royalty. But behind the camera, the man who exuded strength and control often wrestled with insecurities, isolation, and an intense need for privacy. In his later years, Connery withdrew more and more from public life. After The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen in 2003, he quietly stepped away from acting. Fans wondered why a man so beloved would retire at the height of his legacy. The truth was heartbreaking. Connery's health was beginning to fail. He suffered from memory loss and declining physical health, which made it increasingly difficult for him to perform. The once powerful leading man who had commanded every room was now battling the frailties of age. In 2020, the world received the news it had long feared: Sean Connery had passed away at the age of 90. In his sleep, at his home in the Bahamas. The cause was later revealed to be pneumonia and heart failure, compounded by dementia, a condition that had left him struggling in his final years. His wife, Micheline Roquebrun, later revealed that Sean had been suffering terribly, but had passed peacefully. "It was no life for him," she said softly. "He got his final wish to slip away without any fuss." His death marked the end of an era, not just for James Bond fans, but for an entire generation of movie lovers who grew up idolizing him. Around the world, tributes poured in. Fellow actors, directors, and fans remembered him not just as a screen legend, but as a man who never forgot where he came from. Beneath the fame and fortune was still that humble Scottish boy who once dreamed of something bigger. In the end, Sean Connery's life was a story of incredible triumph and quiet tragedy. He conquered Hollywood, redefined masculinity, and became a cultural icon. But his final years were marked by silence, illness, and the slow fading of a man who once seemed immortal. And yet, his legacy endures. Every time someone hears that iconic line, "Bond, James Bond," Sean Connery lives again, reminding the world that legends never truly die.